Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're going to give our first impressions of the 1920 plus Expeditions, which is a sequel to Scythe, a Stonemaier game. We've played this one now twice, played 2 different times. We're just going to give kind of our initial thoughts of the game. But right off the bat, I'll say we have a lot of Stonemaier content. We'll put a playlist down below so you can check out content on all the games, including Scythe. We have a lot of videos on that, and Scythe is like one of my favorite games of all time, so my excitement for this one was very, very high immediately when it was said to be a sequel to Scythe. But, then it's got a lot to live up to, I think, when you call it that.
It wasn't hard to push you into the Metal Mechs.
No. Got the Ironclad edition.
There we go.
So yes, if you want to get a better look at kind of some of the components and stuff, we also have an unboxing video for this one, so you can go check that out as well and get a good look at those. How excited were you? I know you weren't as excited as I was, but were you excited at all or not really?
I think, I don't get excited about games in general, but there was some excitement for this game, and that's probably just because it's a sequel to Scythe. Scythe is a game that I really enjoy. The puzzle of it and stuff is exciting to me. I saw that it was card-based, which is also more Michaela friendly. And also, my favorite characters, some of them are back, like Anna and Wojciech, and...
Even on the cover.
Even on the cover. And Chenga, I can't remember the Russian lady's name now, but, and then you had Gunter and Max back and stuff, so it was fun that they brought, some characters from the Scythe game into this one, and so I think I was just, excited for a Stonemaier game because he always puts out, really quality, I feel like, games. You have to when you're only putting out 1 or 2 games a year. And then, just, the continuation of the story you already like is always, nice because it's not an expansion, it's a sequel.
Right, yeah. And I liked the fact that, kind of going into it, I knew it sounded like... So it was like a game about these meteorites that were falling and kind of causing... I don't know, some evil to awaken, sort of.
Some weird.
So it's kind of bringing almost a little Cthulhu-type piece to the game, which...
That's not a theme you dig, is it? Who are you?
I still don't love it. I really love Cthulhu Death May Die, but I still am not the biggest fan of it. But I feel like somehow, with this artwork, which is some of my favorite in any game, and bringing back this world, I feel like somehow it actually fits pretty nicely. It doesn't feel like it's forced into it.
Yeah.
So I do like kind of some of that there. I kind of have those brighter colors and stuff added in there, but it doesn't feel like overwhelming. It doesn't seem like it fits the theme at all. But I think it fit really well.
But I think because they have 3 sets of tiles, and I think the higher you get on the tiles, kind of the more dark and menacing the tiles get. So they have this nice ombre effect to them.
Yeah. Yeah, but after the first couple of plays, I would say I like the game, but not nearly as much as Scythe. There's some things in this game that I like a lot, and then there's others that I'm like, I don't know if it's as interesting. Whereas, after each game of Scythe, probably still, I always think about it after the fact and how it could be better puzzled out and stuff, whereas in this one, it's only been 2 plays, so I don't know how it will feel, after 5 plays, 10 plays. But I didn't get that same sort of feel after the fact. But yes, I still really liked it. But yeah, I think my favorite part was probably the meteorite cards. I liked how they compounded so throughout the game you're either melding meteorites, upgrading items, completing quests. And just the way those bonuses worked, I think the meteorite piece was the most interesting to me, where you got to kind of gain the rewards over and over again. So you tried to set yourself up to be able to gain a couple coins from each one each time you triggered it, because it would re-trigger all of them. And I just like that re-triggering effect. It kind of feels a little bit like a wingspan-y type thing. So that was probably probably my favorite part of it. The going out and searching the tiles didn't seem as interesting as I once thought it might be, just because the tiles are going to be the same each game, but it never, outside of like, okay, I've got this, so quest cards have to be completed on tiles, which I find cool. I think that makes sense. It kind of makes me think a little bit of like a Maracaibo or something where you have to go to a certain location to do a certain ability or card or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like that part, but the fact that it's just kind of like, I'm going to this tile, it didn't feel like the number 18 tile was any different than the number 19 tile. I really like the artwork on the tiles, but I wasn't like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something completely different at this tile and this tile. It just kind of felt like, oh, I just have to get to the 18 tile. Kind of like when the workers turn into, you know, they're supposed to be a mechanic or something, and then all of a sudden, no, that's the blue worker. It just felt kind of like that, where it's like, it had a name of the location, but I never felt like, and maybe, you know, if I looked at the quests and stuff, it probably made sense. Like, I think there was a couple like C-related ones, and then that tile was C, but it didn't really matter on the board where it was. So, I don't know. There's a little bit of disconnect there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quests are set up to be, like, better the further out they are. Like, the reward for the quest is. And they're also more expensive. But, I mean, if you can get a quest that lines up with the space you need to go already. But I understand what you're saying. So,
what about you? You haven't said anything.
that's because you've just been talking up the mic.
That's because it looked like you didn't have anything to say.
No, I was just letting you go on about how it's not so interesting because you've already got the puzzle figured out of how to play the game. And
I just don't think the puzzle is as interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't think this one can be as puzzled out as Scythe.
Well, and I don't think it's supposed to be. Scythe is, I think, a different level. Like, this game is not, like, easy. It's not medium weight, I would say, but it's not Scythe.
I would say it was medium weight.
I wouldn't say it was medium weight, but that's just me. But it's not Scythe. Like, it's not up to that level. There's not so much many actions you can do. Like, you are limited to 3 actions. In Scythe, you've got a 5-action board and sub-actions you can do.
And just 4.
Whatever.
It's been a while since we played Scythe.
It's the same. 5, 4, more than 3.
By 1. So many more.
Yeah, so many more. But then you get the sub-actions, and then, you know, so you're going for more stars in that game, so there's more things and to consider. You know, you're working with more pieces, just in general, with between, like, 8 workers and all the resources you get. In this game, it's pretty much like you're scrounging, I feel like, for just about anything and everything you can get, and every move has to matter, and then I feel like in that way it's very similar to Scythe, because with Scythe, it's about getting those stars out as quick as possible. And it's the same for this. You want to get your stars out as quick as possible to end the game, you know. And so in that way, like, all the steps count. Like, you can't be going around from one tile to another just, like, on a whim because it's what you can do. Like, you have to be thinking about it. And so I thought it was good. Like, I felt like it was crunchy for me. Obviously, I got my butt whooped twice. So
the first time was not a butt whooping.
Yeah.
It was literally the flip of a coin.
Yeah, and that
I will say that was very exciting, but I doubt that will ever happen again.
That was
where I had a card where you literally flipped your coin.
You're always going to beat me by like 20 points now, I'm sure. So,
well, no, I'm just likely not going to have the card that's a flip the coin and then win by 1 exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I thought it was interesting. My first game I had Wojciech and Anna, which helps you get a lot of cards. But in my second game, I played Changa and I think her name is. Changa's just so much funner. But that one I struggled to get cards with so bad. And I feel like there is enough, I feel like, and when you pair the different types of mechs that you can get with the different people. I mean, I can see him too going out with expansions on this and changing up the tiles too. So, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good. I think it's a solid sequel and a solid game that was put out. I like it. Maybe a tish more than Scythe at this point, just because Scythe is just such a big setup and everything that goes along with it, and this one is just like, it gives you a taste of Scythe without being Scythe.
Yeah, but yeah, that brings up a good point. If you like Scythe, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like this, and if you like this, you're not necessarily going to like Scythe, because I think they are you can see a little bit of similar DNA, but they are very different.
Mhm.
I think the most similar thing is maybe the action thing, but in this one you get 2 actions, but you're kind of moving that around so you can't do the same thing twice. So that's where I think there's the most similarity. The rest, and then obviously getting goals and stuff, is similar to Scythe. But
Yeah.
outside of those 2 things, I wouldn't say they're all that similar, because there's
You're managing
no
a
combat
hand.
in this one
Yeah.
at all. You
Right.
can't even go in the same space. So I wonder if maybe an expansion might add a combat mechanism to it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little more hopeful than I think the game ended up giving. So I'm a little disappointed, but
Wow.
I think I'd still put it at a 7. I'm still excited to try it more, and I could see this one maybe getting better as I, understand more of the cards. But yeah, like you said, like your initial one gave you cards the one time and didn't the other time, and I had that same thing. And yeah, I felt like the one that gave me cards always let me do a lot more things than the one that didn't. So I don't know. I'm not saying they're unbalanced because I've only played it 2 times. So,
We need
but
that chart.
it just felt like
Yeah.
it just felt like they. But I'm sure there's as you get more into the game and understand more of the stuff, I'm guessing they're more balanced than they initially seem. I think probably the card ones are just easier to play.
Right.
Is the thing.
Right, and then it's like once you play, you might realize the full capability of what that means for you, even if you're not getting a card from it. Maybe you're getting something else that will push you forward in a different way. I think much like Scythe and not only the player boards, but then those industry boards or whatever those are called too, the combo of that, can result in different strategies needed. And I think that was the intention between those player cards and then like the mech card boards. So I'll be interesting to see if there does come out to be a combo that's killer.
Could be. But yeah, the production at the end of the day was really, really great. I think it is a bit of a table hog, so this one's going to take up... We only played with 2 players. And I feel like this one, unlike Scythe, I think Scythe can handle higher player counts pretty well. I don't know if this one would. Because you can't go on the same space as someone else, and I think that would just start to interfere quite a bit with what actions you can what space you can even go to. Because there's not... At the end of the day, there's not really that many tiles out there to go onto.
Yeah.
Even though the space on the table that takes up makes you think it's a lot of space.
Yeah.
But if you had 5 mechs out there at once, that would start to take up a lot of actions.
They're just big mechs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all the production of everything is really good. It could be hard to kind of see cards, I would say, and what their abilities are. So you kind of always have to be picking them up and looking at them if you want to know what they can potentially do for you. But yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I guess, did you have any initial thoughts on a rating for this one, or not really? Or are you excited to get it back to the table? How excited are you? On a scale from 1 to 5, the max scale.
Like I need like a break from the beatdown that I got.
Wow.
So I would say I could probably bring this back out in a few weeks.
Wow.
We just have so many games, so it's not really the fact that it's like the game itself, but I'm not also big on like playing and replaying and playing and replaying again. So for me to have played it at least 2 times in 2 days was really out of the ordinary.
Especially after after losing the first one.
Yeah, and when I thought for sure I was gonna win.
I thought you were too.
Yeah.
So I might have counted something wrong.
And so, I don't know, I would probably give it like a 7 or a 7.5 at this point. I really love the card aspect of it.
What do you give Scythe? You said right now you're liking this one more than Scythe, or you're just more excited to play this one than Scythe?
Maybe it's the hotness.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I put Scythe. I have to look, but...
I feel like Scythe is a little better than a 7, or at least a 7.
I think it's only like in my 30.
What do you mean you're 30?
Like, it's only 30 in my top 50. Or 29, or it's in the 20 to 30 range,
Okay.
or 30 to 40 range.
Only have like 30 games that are 7 or better?
Look, this girl knows what she likes.
That's true.
The 10 is full of 10.
True. That's true. But yeah, like I said, you can check out our other video of an unboxing, get a better look at the components, which, like I said, are top notch, typical Stonemaier fashion. A 9 or 10 out of 10, I would say. Yeah, but yeah, otherwise we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.